Hello. There we go. Mic wasn't on. Cord got messed up, but we're back. Good evening, folks. Iron Thunder Racing Network back live tonight for the Iron Thunder Racing League. Live from Daytona for the Iron Thunder Racing Network Daytona Duels. Two qualifying races tonight to set the rest of the field for next week's Daytona 250, presented by Lucky Dogs. We have, what is that, 13, 14 people in here tonight. Of the 17 that are for sure in the field, there is some drivers who are going to be missing this race tonight, and it is what it is. You know, they'll still have their spot for next week's Daytona 250 secured. So there's that. Get two 40-lap duels tonight from Daytona. Top 10 will get points. There's 110 points on the line between everybody. Oh. All right. So that's not working as I thought. Hang on. That did not work as planned. All right. That is fine. We'll figure that out. I was trying to make sure I can hear race control and whatnot, but you guys can hear them too, and I don't want you guys to hear them. So there is that. Again, 40 laps tonight. We'll go over your starting lineup right now as the cars are getting on the grid. As last Tuesday night, it was Raymond Rittenauer who set the pole of time to beat Mr. Daytona himself. Ray Rittenauer, he qualified on the pole. He's going to be starting on the inside, run number 1, and have the guaranteed starting spot in P1 next week. On the outside will be Matt Quick. He qualified 3rd. The rest of this field will be setting the inside line tonight. Then you see Matthew Carabina and Rance Llewellyn. That'll be run number 2 in tonight's duel number 1. Ryan J. Muniz and Treston Ott will be in row 3. Daniel Wise, Brandon Pamatow will be row 4. Caleb Rice and Eric Japo will be row 5. And then the rest of the field here tonight will be Bobby Hash, Zach Kreiser, and technically Dylan Hale, but he will be he'll just be race control. It is what it is, you know. Yeah. So there is what is it, 12 cars guaranteed in here. Again, top 10 pay points, so 2 guys will be guaranteed not to get points tonight. As they're coming down the back straight away. Right about now. Yeah, it's Ray Rittenauer who qualified on the pole. He put down a lap time. Let's see if I can find that real quick. Last Tuesday night, during our 8-hour session, of a 49.868, he beat out the pole sitter in duel number 2, Eric Winkelspecht, by 7/1000ths of a second. So there is that going for him. Starting the season off in a good position. That being said, the lights are off on the iRacing.com pace car. We'll go ahead and get to see Barney the Flagman this time by with the green flag in hand as duel number 1 of the ITRN Duels from Daytona is underway. Looks like most of the cars just start in pack, except for Ryan J. Muniz. He started from pit road. I don't know if he missed the start of the race or whatnot. Might have been a quick little bit of a warm-up countdown for him, but it looks like the outside line prevails here with Matt Quick being pushed by, I believe that's Rance Llewellyn on the outside lane here. He also has Treston Ott, and it looks to be Ryan Pamatat and Eric Japo. Now, the thing about this current draft package, this draft package did get updated right around when they went to Daytona in real life here, so about 6 weeks ago. That's when the draft package got updated, so these cars do go a little bit slower. It does make it a lot easier to lose the draft here. As you can see, some of these guys towards the back of the pack already potentially in that danger zone here in Hash and Kreiser. You don't want to lose this draft, otherwise you are screwed. You could potentially be out of a situation of paying points. You can top 10 pay points in stage point situations, so 10 points to first, 1 point to 10th. So you really don't want to lose that, but again, it's really tough to drag in these cars. The way how fast these cars are going is just not good. As you can see here, right now, did get pushed back out front here, jumped into the high line. Now it's Matthew Carabina in the bottom line here, being pushed by Daniel Wise. Also has Caleb Horizon trusting out here on the inside lane here, as lap number 2 is completed. The 1988 look to both be clear here going into turn 1. Race backing up to the back bumper of his teammate Matt Quick. And yeah, that inside line is just prevailing here. It looks like outside line just does not have the numbers right now. Here goes Treston to the top. He's going to get in front of Ray Rittenauer. Again, top 3 cars have cleared up. I've cleared the top lane. I'm surprised they haven't jumped up quite yet. In Carabina, Wise, and Rees. Or Rise. I think it's Rise. And as here goes Quick to the bottom groove, as you can see that top line was just not working. So it might, instead of being training on the top, they might train on the bottom here. As Treston's choice to go to the top there in front of Ray right now might not work here, as he's starting to drop back in the pack here. You don't want to be the last car to fall back in pack, otherwise you will be screwed. Again, you do not really want to be the last car in any sort of pack. Just the way, again, this draft model, the way it was updated again over a month and a half ago, these cars go slower. Again, the next gen cars just in general are a draggy car. So being the last car here like Treston is, he's just not good. No help behind him. And unfortunately, he's just going to lose the pack. And he's going to lose the pack like Muniz did, but Muniz started from pit road. Everybody single filed out here through the top 10. And again, Treston unfortunately loses the main pack, which is very unfortunate here. And it's Carabino, Daniel Wiles, and Caleb Reeves as your front 3 here. Do have to potentially make a green flag pit stop. Probably expect that around maybe halfway, maybe a little bit later, around 20 to 25, I would say, is the ballpark range for these pit stops to be happening tonight. I wouldn't be surprised. Oh, iRacing's muted. Wouldn't be surprised if we get some guys who try to see if they can save that field and make it further. But you also don't want to be the lead car in this pack either. Being the lead car, you use more fuel. So guys, even 3rd and 4th in line, all the way back, once I say you're past the top 2 or in preferred position, to save fuel to make it further on here. Chrysler looks to the outside lane here. Potentially might be dropping back, seeing if he could take a run. There is possibilities here with this draft package to go ahead and see if he can take a run here, as there goes Pamitat and Drapeau to the outside lane as well, seeing if they can get something going. Pamitat drops back in line. Llewellyn also jumped out there, but Eric probably wants to look to get back in line here, as Chrysler might be the next car to join him towards joining Treston as losers of the main pack. Llewellyn, Drapeau, and Pamitat are all trying the outside lane here. And it's BJ Hash and Matt Quick are going to go ahead and just fill those positions they left on the racetrack. Another thing with this package is you can see here, potentially these top 4 might be able to break away here, because these guys here towards the back half of the pack are racing. Side draft is a huge factor in these cars, and you don't really want to be racing side by side. Otherwise, you have potential here when you have 4 solid cars lined up like this to also lose the pack. But it looks like they got back into line here, and I go ahead and settle in and race some laps here. Again, single file through the top 10. Treston staying back by himself, 11 seconds off the leader, about 10 off this pack. And Muniz, who started from pit road, is currently all the way over in turn number 3. Right now, these 10 cars in this pack do have an opportunity to start the year off with some points. 10 points can go a long way for some of these guys. Go a long way for anybody. And as you see, Chrysler 1.3 off the main pack, now dropping. It's just the moment you get a second outside those cars draft, you're just done for. And unfortunately, he's going to be the next victim to lose the draft here. this evening. Rance Llewellyn could also be in that next car in a position here. See if we can potentially play the try to leapfrog him here when things start to check up in the corner and get a hole to get cleared into. Not real sure if that is an opportunity for him or not. But right now, him and Drapeau are the last 2 cars on this pack. And they kind of want to stick together, so. Do you see what they can do here? Again, it's Matthew Carabina out front, followed by Wiles, Reese, and Rittenauer. BJ Hatch currently sitting in 5th place. Looking at potentially seeing him run a full season this year in the ITRN Racing League. Been a staple in the league before, seen him out here. Any past broadcasts done through us here on the ITRN Racing Network or any of our other previous broadcasters. You see him in the famed number 3 car. Swept over to the 78 last year in his part-time stint. So we'll see what he can bring out here. Brings a fantastic looking Sunoco paint scheme onto this racetrack this evening. Oh, sorry, I just realized I didn't have trained paints up, and so we might see some updated paint schemes. As you see everyone's paint scheme from a week ago. Not much happening here through 3 and 4. As we're coming to complete lap number 10. Potentially halfway through a fuel run for some of these drivers here. As you can see, Hash did wash up a tiny bit here. That's going to check up the rest of this pack behind him. Again, that could run into sort of an issue here. Again, 4 cars. I think these are 4 solid cars out front. Could pull away. 30 laps to go. Again, paint schemes are reloading in because I thought I had drain paints on, but I didn't turn it on. So you can see them popping in here. So you can see, I think that was Pam Tat's paint scheme that just loaded in. Rance thought maybe potentially taking a run there, but didn't. As he did see what happened there to both Kreiser and Ott. It looks like Tristan Ott might be potentially even backing up here to Muniz. He's running the top. Yeah, looks like he's backing up trying to get to Muniz here. So these two can work together. But the issue is the leaders are at the start finish line. They're in the middle of turn 1 and 2. 11 laps completed. 29 more to go. And you can see Matt Quick's going to take a run here with Brandon Pamtown on the outside here. See if they can get around BJ here for 5th. Looks like they're potentially get cleared. Trapo's also going to help him here in the outside lane. So the outside lane has a little bit of momentum here. What does the 19 car do? Does the 88 jump up? Potentially the 67. Not real sure if the 67 potentially has the ability to clear up. 87 also has the opportunity to clear up, but he's going to stay inside lane. And they did have a moment to look like get into the bottom lane, but that's going to just... Oh, nope, side by side with 5th. But BJ Hash is going to close up the hole here. Back to the back bumper, kind of eliminating the gap that Quick or Pamtech could use to get into the bottom lane here. But these two are synced up. They're locked in together here. You see Pamtet's really pushing to the back bumper Quick here. These cars do have that ability to lock in like that as we go on board with Pamitat. It's going to have to let off and get the oil temperature potentially gotten a little bit warm here. We'll see if we can go on board and see if you can see like the oil numbers flashing or not. No. Iris doesn't let us have that cool stuff. But here he is on board right now with Brandon Pamitat here as he currently runs 6th. Getting that engine cooled off to see if he can get back to the back bumper quick to make another run at this. As this is again battling for what looks to be 4th, 5th, 6th, 7th, and 8th. Okay, it's pretty simple here. You guys just run wide open here as we're on board with Matt Quick now. Quick, we'll take a look at from the rear view camera. Is going to get just a back bumper full of Pamitas. That's going to be able to clear Ray Rittenauer here on the inside line. That might actually screw over Drapeau and Rance. As those two, unfortunately, might be in a potential situation to lose the draft. We'll take a look here. They need to get cleared down now, but also here comes the issue again. Like I was saying a little bit earlier, get single filed out here, and then you got 4 cars racing side by side like this is enough to disturb them and start having those 5 cars who are single filed out have the opportunity to pull away. Also, we do have lap traffic ahead too, as it looks like Treston, well, part of Treston's plan there was to drop back to Muniz to see if those two can work together. Right now they're exiting 4 and the leaders are entering 4, so potentially here within the next couple of laps, Carabino might put these two a lap down. Now Chrysler 26 seconds behind this pack here is just running Q laps. Let's quickly hop on board and see if he is just still in 5th gear. He's still in 5th gear. So it's not using, he's still burning a lot of fuel, but not as much as he's in 5th gear. 25 laps to go here in duel number 1. Again, we have 2 duels tonight. Second duel will be going live up right after this. There looks to be these two, Pamtat and Quick, jump to the outside lane here. See if they can get something going. I don't know if this was planned or what, but Quick's right now side by side with 3rd and Rees. And this isn't really going to work out for him. Doesn't really have the momentum they had before. As Chapeau and Rance are going to stay in line here. Rance is actually in potential trouble situation here. Almost 0.3 of a second off this pack. But things start to check up, and you can see here he's going to take the run. He's going to hop in the outside lane here, see if he can help Quick and Pamitat out, rebuild that momentum they had, and see if they can get back towards those top 3. Again, those top 3 have about a half second difference here as these 6 cars are running side by side. But they're also now going to be getting the tow here potentially from Treston and Muniz. Muniz are right there in front of them. They're in the middle of 3, entering 4 right now. Carabina's middle of 3, entering 4. So these two are about to be put a lap down. The leaders are getting pulled from them as Quick and Pamitat did get clear here with the help of Llewellyn. Llewellyn's also going to go back up here with them to the top lane here as these 3 are going to try to see if they can leapfrog our leaders here with 23 laps to go. And we're going to potentially have a 3 wide situation off of 2 here. As a 1581 go to the top lane. Smart choice, and this is going to also give the draft to Quick and Pamitat. These guys are going to go a little bit faster than Carabina, Wiles, and Rees. They're 3 wide through 3. That got the 81 a little bit upset there in the top lane. 51's going to try to see if he can stay with the top lane, but unfortunately he's just going to drop like a rock in a 2-foot creek. Just lost all momentum as Quick and Pamitat will go to the lead here on lap 19. 22 laps to go. The pit window's got to be real close to opening up here for some of these drivers. Carabina might be in the worst fuel situation. I mean, Muniz and Treston, those two could be in a very terrible fuel situation as well. Both of them running numerous laps by themselves without the draft. So we'll see what happens there. Now back, single filed out. Now there's 11 cars in this pack of the 12. Razor's again the only car by himself, but he's 40 some seconds off of the main pack. Right, close that. Again, pit stop's going to have to be happening shortly here. Again, I say the fuel window, if I had to guess, with these 60% fuel tanks, again, within that ballpark of anywhere between, I'm going to even say it's going to be 20 to 25 laps. That's a wide window here. Again, it all depends on numerous factors as, I mean, you can see here, Quick situation, he's wide open. Pamitat, he's probably close to wide open following him. And, you know, Carabino, Wiles, Rees, they're all potentially going to be able to run a little bit less and less here on the gas pedal to help save fuel. Muniz and Treston were both able to hop into the line here. Fortunately, they are 1 lap down, so this is, again, the whole entire field is together. Grant, 2 of them are a lap down. And you might potentially also see an opportunity here for Chrysler here, who's about, if I had to guess, 3 seconds away from being lapped, so he might be lapped here in this next lap by. Giving an opportunity for both Tristan and Ryan to gain a spot here. In Yunez's situation, that would put him in a pretty good spot. Getting 1 point here. Things start to check up here in the bottom lane. They're all in the bottom lane. And that might really screw over Drapeau and Llewellyn as they're at the tail end of this pack. Drapeau is able to get back behind Llewellyn. So we're getting closer to pit stops here. That's not really a good thing to see here, as Llewellyn does have a couple of blinks there. That time by through 2. Nothing really has changed so far in the running order. Like I said, Llewellyn and Drapeau are in potential danger zone here of losing the draft. And it's again, the pit window is going to be opening up here in the next couple laps. Reports I'm hearing could be anywhere here in the next 2, maybe 3 laps. We could be seeing these guys come on down pit road. Which is really not surprised. I mean, a lot of these guys have the opportunity to save fuel here, not running full throttle, so. If I had to guess potential guys who could be on pit road first, again, that could be the 19, 15, 81, and the 12. Those 4 cars had to run wide open longer than the rest of them. As here comes some guys on pit road. Pamitat, Carabina, Rees, Wiles, Llewellyn, Drapeau, Ott, Kreiser, Muniz, they all come down pit road. That leaves just 3 cars out on the racetrack. That leaves Matt Quick. He's really in a terrible situation as BJ Hash is about 0.6 of a second behind him, and Ray Rittenauer. So these 3 are actually going to be in a very terrible situation as they only have 3 cars coming down pit road. Everyone's coming in. We'll get you to a better camera shot here. Here comes Pamitat off pit road. Spent 9.3 in his box. Caribbean spent 8.7. Wiles 9.3, 9.4 for Drapeau, 8.5 for Llewellyn, 8.5 for Rees, 8.3 for Ott, 8.9 for Muniz, and 9.8 for Kreiser. So filling up the tank, maybe took some right side tires as Llewellyn getting loose on the apron here. Oh, and he's going to save it, but that's not going to do good for him. He's going to run into a terrible situation here, losing the draft. And Rees might be running into a situation where he might get a black flag for unsafe pit exit. As Rittenauer, Hash, and Quick are all on pit road here. Quick spent about 10 seconds, 11 plus here. Guessing 4-tire pit stop. That's going to not bode well for BJ Hash here. As there's a couple blinks there, I think, from the 15 machine. That's what you see here. And here comes this pack. It's Pamitat being followed by Hash and Muniz. Those 2 are going to... These 3 are actually going to take control of the race here. And it's not really going to work out here for Rittenauer and Quick. It's just going to be these 2 cars, and they're going to get left alone. And it doesn't look like seeing any sort of penalty for the 67, so he might have been okay coming off pit road. We'll see if we can rewind it here as Carabina runs high here. Falls back in line behind Wiles, but that might be a not good situation as he might have to fall back into the how am I trying to say this? He's gonna have to fall back essentially back to Rittenauer and Quick here. And he's 1.5 off, and those 2 might just drive right by him. 15 laps to go. Green flag pit stops have been completed. Race leader is Brandon Pamitat. And I mean, the only other car really in contention is Daniel Wiles here, sitting in P2. 2 cars behind him in Ott and Muniz. Those 2 cars are the first cars laps down. And then taking a look at some other guys, some major losers here on pit road. BJ Hash, again, 14.8. If I really had to guess here, it was a 4-tire pit stop. When you come down pit road here for green flag pit stops here, it's really either going to take no tires or 2 right side tires. You really want to spend the least amount of time you can on pit road. In BJ's situation here, 14 laps to go. You should be in a pretty safe position here. You're only 16 seconds behind the leader. Might be really close here, maybe towards 3 laps to go. If I had to guess, you're running 50.2s. They're running right now 46.6s up front. So you might be in a situation where you could be close to being lap down, losing spots. The stress and Ott drops to the back end of this line here. Don't know if he needs some fresh air. He has shown some connection issues so far tonight, so it could be a little bit of connection issue and wanted to give a better car P2 in line. It could be in a very unfavorable position again, last car in this pack. Quick, Rittenauer, and Carabiner, those 3 did link up here. Carabiner is a little bit further behind Rittenauer here. He's about 2/10 off. But these 3 are also running well over a second off the pace that the top 3 are. So that 1 car difference is all that it truly makes here in lap time. And then we also have another 3rd pack on the racetrack. That's going to include Reese, Llewellyn, Drapeau, and then the lap car of Kreiser. So that's another 4-car pack. And like I said, those 4 cars, as I say that, those guys ran a little bit slower than them, but quick Rittenauer and Carabiner didn't match. Actually, they went a little bit faster than Pamitat last lap. So the 3.8 second gap, those, I mean, Ray and Quick are some of the best super speedway racers here in the league. We always say Ray usually wins at tracks that end in A. So he has a pretty good chance here to close in the gap here, but gap is gaining. It's 4 seconds. I don't really know here with 12 laps to go. And it's also not in a very good situation. Something looks like to happen to Carabiner there. And it's really going to be a very unfavorable position here as Carabiner is starting to lose him here. 0.6 of a second. That number is going to start growing here as he's now out of the draft of Rittenauer and Quick. Essentially, these guys are in a least favorable position as they almost wreck here down the back straightaway. Rittenauer really trying to push Quick to see if they can gain some sort of advantage here to race leader Hamilton and Wiles. So we come to 10 laps to go here in the ITRN Daytona Duel number 1. Second duel practice opened up about 28 minutes ago, so we might be able to have some time here to experience some of that practice session. Again, it's just Pamitat and Wiles here for a position here in this front pack. Muniz and Ott, they technically have a chance to race for position. Right now, it would be a points-paying position for them. BJ Hash, 29.8 seconds back, also running a little bit over 3.4 seconds a lap slower. So right now doing the math, 3.4 seconds, and it's right now about 9 seconds to the leader, so he'll be lapped with about 6 laps to go. They're entering 3. Leaders are exiting turn 2, so there's another spot up for grabs for him. As again, Treston's blinking in and out. Could be an upload packet last situation here. Connection issue could also lead to the new connection issue flag that iRacing updated here in the Season 2 release. So, new type of penalty system we could be seeing here, new kind of penalty we could see some of these drivers receive here. As we're 8 laps to go here in Duel 1. Yeah, things just didn't really work out here for Rittenauer and Quick. Just those two are running by themselves. Rittenauer, I mean, he does have the pole position locked up. essentially is just trying to improve the position for Quick. Each spot gains a row moved up in starting position. So right now, if they can find a way to get to Wiles and Pamitat here in the next 8 laps, potentially move from starting in 5th up to 3rd. That's all really Quick can gain here with Rittenauer being on the pole. And then Carabiner, he also lost a second pack there of Reese Llewellyn and Drapeau, with Kreiser also in there. So unfortunately, he's going to be in line to finish P8 at the moment here with 7 laps to go. Yeah, they're just losing a lot of time. And actually, now taking a look at it, this could get really interesting here for 3rd, 4th place here, as these guys are starting to catch Rittenauer and Quick. Rees, Llewellyn, Drapeau, and Kreiser are starting to catch them here. So the race win might be out of question here for these guys, but there is an opportunity to start 5th as Quick goes through the grass. That's not really going to be a favorable thing here. This is going to really give an opportunity for the second pack to gain. 184 to 194 is the mile per hour difference here. That's 10 miles per hour the difference. 6 laps to go. These guys are going to catch them down the back straightaway this time. See what they do here. They do have a 4-car pack, and unfortunately, Drapeau's in the unfavorable position again of being the last car in the pack. He's going to lose them. He's going to fall to a second behind, so he's not really going to be in this opportunity to battle for P3 here. Coming into 5 laps to go. And it looks like these guys just fell in line behind Rittenauer and Quick. That's interesting. They did have that brief 10 mile per hour advantage. They could have took the opportunity to pass these two. But they're going to sit here, fall in line, and potentially just run it out here over the next 3-4 laps. Set a potential pass here on the last lap. Still up front, Pamitat just sitting here. Lap car Muniz behind him. These two are teammates. Then you have America Racing driver Daniel Wiles here. He's the 3rd car in line, singing P2, and interesting out of JCOM singing P4 in this line. P11 on the racetrack. 4 laps to go. Again, it looks like, yeah, there's just not enough time here. They did run 4/10 of a second lap, last lap faster than Pamitat and Wiles. It's just 6.8 seconds is a lot to overcome. I mean, that I see their gap, it's coming down, but we're talking about you need to be running full speeds from 1987 to catch them here. And I just don't think, well, be honest, that's not possible. That's 3 laps to go. Again, unfortunately, Drapeau did lose this pack. Carabina did lose this pack. BJ Hash, he's running the top line here, as Pamitat and company are going to be putting him a lap down. So it's going to give an opportunity for Tristan Ott to move into the top 10 and earn himself a point, as BJ's not really going to fight here to maintain that 10th spot. He's going to try to hook onto the back of this pack here, coming to 2 to go. I just don't know if it's going to really work out for him, though. Yeah, he's already a half second off. A major checkup would be the only way to catch him here. As Quick's going to come down pit road. Could be a question of if he got enough fuel in it, maybe? That could be a major concern for Matt Quick. That's going to give an opportunity here for guys like Drapeau and Carabina here with 2 laps to go. Yeah, it was just a stop and go. It was... Oh. Alright. I don't know what Quick's doing here. But we'll focus back to the race lead here, see if Wiles does anything here to potentially see if he can get by Pimata, as the white flag will come out into the air this time. Meaning there's one lap to go. And that white flag lap is sponsored by nobody. Quick's going to come off pit road. That's going to give an opportunity for Treston and Muniz both to gain a spot here, as well as going to take a look at the outside of Muniz. It's going to side draft him through 1 and 2. It's going to give Pimata a little bit of advantage here, but that's not a good advantage to have here at Daytona. Treston side drafts Muniz. He's going to see if he can get by him, but Wiles goes back in line here by behind Pamitat. He's going to now jump back out in front, starting the outside lane here. He's going to get ahead of Pamitat, but has no help. He actually has enough help. He's going to clear him. Pamitat's going to get a bump from Muniz. Pamitat goes to the wall and will get put into the wall here. They're side by side coming up turn number 4. It's going to be Wiles. Is it going to be Pamitat? Pamitat's going to clear. Wiles blocks Ott, not for position, and Brandon Pamitat wins the ITRN Duel number 1. Wiles finished 2nd, Caleb Rise finished 3rd, Ray Rittenauer finished 4th, Llewellyn finishes 5th, Drapeau finishes 6th. So that's a little bit here to go to get to the start-finish line. There you go, crosses the line. Carabina, he'll come home 7th. Muniz came home 8th. Treston Knott came home 9th. And Bobby Hash, BJ Hash, came home 10th. Zach Kreiser 11th. And Matt Quick 12th. Very exciting last lap there, if I had to say. Wiles did set up just right. Pamitat got a little bit too much of a gap there. And that just fortunately worked out in his favor, as he's going to come to the start-finish line here and do some burnouts. Or, he might save the car for next week. And let's see if the 48 machine of Brandon Pamitat's in Discord. He is. And we'll go ahead and move him into the Iron Thunder Racing Network booth. And just give me a second. I need to unmute Discord, if he's there.
Hello, I'm here.
You're the Iron Thunder Racing Network Daytona Duel 1 winner.
Hell yeah.
Starting your season off just right. Earned yourself some 10 points and a P3 starting spot in next week's Daytona 250.
That's it's great news because we didn't qualify so well. So running this duel was important to get, good track position because of the draft. It could be a single file train for a bit. And definitely wanted to be up towards the front just in case there's, mid-pack shenanigans. So securing this P3 for the actual race is huge for us. So we could just ride it out at the beginning and save the car towards the end and hopefully not get caught in any rat's nest.
There's also a new factor in this year, the no quick fix. So, I guess running up front P3 thing out of that hornet's nest back there is a pretty good strategy.
Yeah, definitely. I can't thank Ryan enough, my teammate. He didn't have the best of luck with this duel, but he was able to push me after that pit stop pretty much the entire way, and we pulled away from the other pack, and we had the 88 with us. It was for a 2-car race essentially right there. It was exhilarating. So. Shout out to Daniel as well. Clean racing towards the end, no bashing each other and anything. And good start for PPR racing team. I can't wait to go to the actual points race. I think we're going to have a strong lineup and definitely be contenders for the checkered. I
think you will be too. The way you're working with Quick earlier on in the race and whatnot, it seemed like you were car a lot of people should be focusing on working with in next week's Daytona 250.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it. I can't wait to get out there. Hopefully the actual race goes as clean as this duel. And now time to load the car up and sit on the stands for duel number 2.
That is true. Real quick before we go ahead and let you go back down there and debrief with your team, is there anyone you want to give a quick shout out to, a quick thank you for?
Yeah, of course. I want to shout out Ryan for the push throughout the entire race and even the shot there at the end that really got us the run to bring home this thing so we could start, second row. I want to shout out PPR, brand new race team, Storm, Eric, Ryan, my 3 teammates for this season. I think it's going to be a great season for us four. I'm really looking forward to contending for the team championship as well as overall wins with everyone. I think we definitely are on the right track to do good, and I'm really excited to run with those guys this year. I want to thank Splash and Go for the paint scheme, and I want to thank you, Alex, for the broadcast, and I'm looking forward to next week.
I am looking forward to next week as well. Congratulations on winning duel number 1, and we'll see you out there next week.
Yes, sir.
As that was Brandon Hamertat, duel 1 winner. We'll go ahead and pull up P2 here, as we do have some time before. Well, hang on, I should probably verify that, but we do have some time before duel number 2 here. Things were spread out about an hour, so I think we have enough time here to get these interviews in here. And we'll go ahead and pull up P2 finisher tonight and Daniel Wiles.
What's going on, man?
Did I talk to you last week?
Yeah, we won the Open last week.
Hell yeah! Great P2 finish tonight. Really thought you had him there for a second coming off turn number 4.
Yeah, I learned a lot before the race next week. So I learned when to make a move. That was way too early. I had it in my mind what I wanted to do, and it kind of was working to plan, but I should have followed him until out of turn 4, because I knew the lap car was his teammate, so I was trying to separate them two. But it was good. Nice, good, clean racing. It was fun.
Did she also take that little bit of a note that says, don't lose the draft?
Oh, yeah. I mean, I run these cars a lot, so I know that the biggest thing is to not lose the draft on pit stops. And so I didn't take any tires. I didn't do, my windshield tear off. I tried to save as much time as possible, but I did add a little bit more fuel in just in case somebody wrecked and we had some green, white checkers. But it all worked out.
That indeed it did. Setting yourself up pretty well here. You earned yourself some points here tonight. You earned yourself 9 points. You're currently second in points right now. How does that make you feel?
It's good. It's a good start. I mean, the team, us 4 drivers for America Racing are new here. So far, so good. I mean, everybody seems to be real clean, respectful. So yeah, I like sitting second right now. I'd like to be first, but we'll take second.
I would take second too. Well, you have some teammates here in Duel 2, right?
Yeah, so Kevin and Zach Millett. Dalton was supposed to be in.
Yeah.
Dalton was supposed to be in 1, but he got held up at work, so I was a lone soldier out there. But yeah, Kevin West and Zach Millett are in this one.
All right. So I'll go ahead and stop holding you up here, because you probably have to go give them some pointers here and whatnot. Before we do let you go, is there anyone you'd like to give a shout out to, quick thank you for?
You up in the booth. The admins here in the league so far, it's been great. My team, America Racing, we've been around for about 1.5 years now, so it's a good group of guys. Learned a lot with them, all of them guys. So glad to be here, man.
Well, it's been a thrill to watch you. It's been exciting racing here over the last 2 weeks, and I look forward to see what you can do next week in the Daytona 250.
All right, man. See you then.
As that was P2 finisher Daniel Wiles. Again, I haven't been told we don't have time, so we'll go ahead and pull up the third place finisher tonight, the 67 machine of Caleb Rise. I think. Hello. I'm saying your last name right? It's Rise. Reese. I am so sorry.
You're all good.
Well, you finished P3 tonight. That gives you, doing my math, that should be a 7th place starting spot in next week's Daytona 250. How do you feel about that?
Man, I feel great. First season in the league, and I feel like we're having a strong start to the season, and we worked well with a lot of people, got to know these guys a little bit more, been hanging out with Rance in the free agent chat, and just learning how this goes. It was really clean, which was nice, and we just got comfortable, and found who was really pushing well and who we could follow well, and just I feel like we worked really well together and were able to get the job done.
You did that very well tonight, as you were able to catch third place here with 5 laps to go. Were you a little bit worried there within, I don't know, about 13 laps to go that you might just be sitting there racing for 5th place?
Yeah, a little bit. Trying to catch Ray and those guys, they're so, I know they're very fast, and they were fast in practice, and they were really on each other, and then they made a little mistake on the trial, which I didn't expect, and we were like, we're like, oh, we got to go shoot for these guys now, and we were able to catch them, and I don't know what happened to Matt there, why he pitted, but we're able to take advantage and get to race outside on the exit of 4 and get to third. You know, I really wanted the points and wanted to get an extra row up for the starting spot, but I don't know, maybe I think Ray's on pole actually for the 250, so it could have been different no matter what, but the points always help, so that's also a benefit.
I mean, you're saying P3 in the point standing, so how does that make you feel?
Yeah. That feels great to, you know, come into something new and already be sitting towards the top, so hopefully we can hold that momentum and carry that to next week at the 250. I know it's going to be a lot more people to work with, and I'm going to really be paying attention to Duel 2 here to see who we should be working with when we get ready to go next week.
That is actually a smart thing to do. I've never actually thought about that when I've been running these, watching Duel 1 or 2 to see who does what, who's a good pusher and whatnot. Should take notes for any potential return I have in mind.
Yeah, for me, it's always just, you got to figure out who is going to be your best helper, who's maybe not going to be the best guy. Like, I was working with Rance, and he was doing a phenomenal job with pushing and helping me out. So he was more worried about pushing me. I was like, no, you're doing a great job. Just keep on doing your thing. And we were able to get to third. Wish we had more time to get to first. I made a mistake entering pit road, but I feel like if I didn't make that mistake, we could have been fighting for the win. But we'll learn from that.
It's always something you can learn when you come out here and do super speedway race and feel like you just go out there and hold it wide open, but then all of a sudden you'd be like, oh, I need to do this now. So
there's a lot of work with the pedals and everything, and just trying to hold it straight as much as you can. But we did a good job tonight, so
you did do a great job tonight. Oh yeah. Before we go ahead and let you go here, because I probably should get loaded into the second duel race here, is there anyone like to give a quick shout out to, a quick thank you for?
I want to give a huge thank you to everybody here with ITRL, you with the broadcast. I watched all the broadcasts last year. I was Radioactives, and I was watching the broadcast last week. I'm watching more of the broadcast tonight. Dylan Helt, the Ott brothers, all these guys, they have an amazing thing here, and I can't thank them enough for letting us be able to enjoy this league and have some fun. So looking forward to this first season and seeing what we can do.
Well, I look forward to seeing you out there on the racetrack, cutting it up with these guys, and also look forward to seeing you starting up front next week in Daytona 250.
Yeah, hopefully we can get something out of it.
Well, congratulations on your P3 finish tonight, and we'll see you next week.
Awesome. Thank you so much.
As that was Caleb Rise. And taking a look here, we still have 11 minutes until the second duel goes green. So we'll quickly just go over your final results here. Again, it's Brandon Panawatat, the race winner. Daniel Wiles finishing 2, Caleb Rise finishing 3. I still feel like I'm saying that wrong. I really need to ask these guys for pronunciations. Ray Renard finished 4th. He, again, his finishing spot is only just a points formality at this point. He'll be your pulse there for next week. Rance Llewellyn finished 5th tonight. Eric Chapeau finished 6th. Matthew Carabina finished 7th. He was the last car on the lead lap tonight. Ryan J. Muniz, Trestonat, and Bobby Hash will round out your top 10. Oh, that's the wrong button. We need this button. 11th through 13th tonight, we'll see Zach Kreiser, Matt Quick, and Dylan Hale race control as the rest of your results. So that is it for Duel 1. We'll go ahead and hop over into duel number 2. Make sure we can do that real quick for you. But we'll go ahead and take a quick break. This is a great opportunity for you guys to go and get yourself a drink of water. Whatever else you need here is we have another potentially exciting hour racing left to go tonight. We'll be right back on our Thunder Racing Network. Alright, we can cut out the speed channel now. Alright, we are back. Duel number 2. We're in the practice session. There is still 6 minutes and 52 seconds left to go in this practice session. I guess we can go ahead and go over everything that seems to be going on here in duel number 2. Looks like Chris Gale is the fastest driver in this practice session so far. He ran a lap time of 46.004. He has his teammate Matthew Kluser, who's right behind him here. So it looks to be a group of cars, and he pulls out a line there. His brother Brandon Kluser, in a new paint scheme this week. He called it Blue Thunder, Blue Lightning, I believe. He's out there. He's currently pushing another 25 machine. Who's the other 25 machine? Oh, I guess that's Eric Winkelspeck. He will be on the pole tonight's duel number 2 here from Daytona. He'll go ahead and have himself a guaranteed starting spot at P2 next week for the Daytona 250% by Lucky Dogs. Kevin Hash, He's also in this dual race. He's currently sitting P4 on the chart. Matt Sherry, he's currently sitting on pit row, but he's the 5th fastest driver in practice. Brian Russi in that wonderful looking paint scheme as Brandon Klusterhurst did overheat there. Let me reload train paints real quick. So I really don't think Winkelspecht. Hang on, let's do this. Hang on. I don't want you guys to see some things here. Is in a 25 paint scheme here. So we'll go ahead and get trading paints to reload. Now that's all taken care of. Sorry about the cough. Yeah, but Brian Russi's currently sitting 6th fastest on the speed charts. Also, Chris Gale was running a Qualidac paint scheme last week, and he's just in his normal Cadillac paint scheme this week. So I think we just need to have Trading Paints redo its thing here. Some other drivers here in this field defending current reigning champions. Storm Patterson, he's currently 8th on the speed charts. Let me make sure we get this reorganized right. Josh Cully in the 33 machine, he's 7th on the speed charts. Kevin West currently sits 9th on the board. Other drivers in here, Sam Green making his return to the league here. Currently sitting P11. 12th on the board is Jason Raudenbush. He's also making a return here in the number 59 machine. A new number for him. He's in a Chevy. Mellow yellow scheme. That's a pretty good looking scheme right there, Jason. Nathan Shiflett, he's also in here. He hasn't put up a time. Zach Millen, as we learned from Daniel Wiles last session, he was in this race. So Ott also registered for this race. He was supposed to be in duel number 1. I guess due to work or something, family matter or whatnot, he was unable to make it. I'm not going to really... I just wasn't able to make duel 1. I don't know if he's actually in the server or not. I can't really tell you that. But he's currently registered for duel number 2. Luke Carbonneau is also registered for duel number 2. But looks like we potentially will have more drivers in this duel. 13 cars are staying out on the racetrack on pit road. Millet, Sawyer, Carbonneau, that would put us at 16 cars. I think 17 or 18 was originally supposed to race this duel. 17. So we're still missing Brian Wertman from this session. That would be the only car I think we're missing that's not in here right now. So we'll almost have our whole entire field here tonight for the ITRN Daytona Duel number 2. But 2 minutes left in practice here. Let's go ahead and give you the sights and sounds of some of these cars out on the racetrack. And we'll be back for the green flag. You won't miss anything. All right, it looks like the timer should be running out right about now for practice. And it's going to give us our, again, it looks to be, again, 16 cars here in duel number 2. And we'll go over to starting the lineup here in just a second once practice officially ends here. So I think I need a reload. I don't think I need to reload that. Never mind. But yeah, they're switching over, and I think we can go ahead and... Nope, we can't pull that up. All right, cool. How about now? There you go. There's your starting lineup for tonight for duel number 2. Again, it's Eric Winkelspecht, second fastest qualifier for the qualifying session we had again 1 week ago during All-Star festivities. He's going to be starting on the pole tonight. Again, has a guaranteed P2 starting spot next week. Christopher Gale will be starting on his outside. In row number 2, we'll see Storm Patterson, again, the current champion of the Iron Thunder Racing League in the number 8 machine, Kevin West. In row 3, we'll see Brandon Klusterhuis and Brian Rusi. And row number 4, we'll see Kevin Hash and Nathan Shiflett. Row 5, we'll see Josh Coley and Matt Cherry. Move on back here. In row number 6, we'll see Sam Green and Luke Carbonneau. Row 7, we'll see Matthew Klusterhuis and Zach Millett. Row number 8, we'll see Jason Rodenbush. No Dylan Hill, because again, he is our race control tonight. And Sawyer Ott will also be out there on the racetrack tonight, starting last car in the field. But everyone is on the racetrack, so that's cool. We'll get things going early here. Yeah, it's 40 laps. I would expect the same thing we saw in duel number 1. But you know how they say in real life, if duel 1's calm, duel 2 is a little bit of a S show. And we also do have 5 more cars than we did in duel number 1. So there is that going for us tonight in duel number 2. 40 laps is a distance. Again, top 10 get points. Right now your current points leader is Graham Hamatat over Wiles and Rise. I'm going to have to go back and listen to what he said. I will get this right. All right, I will get this right. But the pace car is going to come down the back straightaway. A little bit of a different atmosphere we have here. The last one ran under daylight. This one looks to be going into sunset. So we might be seeing the wonderful lights here at Daytona International Speedway turn on at some point during this duel. See, I think I need to... Yeah, I need to reload this real quick, so give me a second. But the pace car is through 3 right now. Still got some time here. Still got some time. There we go. There we go. That looks much better. But we'll go ahead and see the iRacing.com pace car here get ready to make a hard left-hand turn down the pit road here. And we'll go ahead and take a quick look at Barney the Flagman here with the green flag in his hand. The lights are on the flag stand, and we are racing for duel number 2 here at Daytona. Pretty calm start through 1 and 2. They're going to be side by side, pretty equal here. Both lanes down the back straightaway. Again, it's Winkelspecht and Gale leading those 2 lines here. Winkelspecht's getting a push from Hamatat through 3 and 4 right now. Into turn number 3. As that outside lane's going to probably fall back a little bit here, as the 50 machine of Rusi was not on. I wouldn't say close enough to the back bumper to keep him up close here, as Winkelspecht's going to go ahead and lead lap number 1 here of duel number 2. And all 15 cars actually. 16. 16 is correct. All 16 cars are still in this main pack. Main goal for these drivers is not to lose the draft here, as it looks like Patterson's going to go ahead and give Winkelspect a good push here, and that's usually not a good thing when you get that far ahead, especially when you have two lines coming at you at much higher rates of speed here. But pulling ahead here by about 0.3 of a second here over Gale on the inside line here, but Pamitat's going to finally back up the back bumper of Winkelspect here. Gale's going to look up higher here on the racetrack, seeing if potentially get the outside lane. As here goes Patterson to the outside here, going to try to see if he can lead lap number 2. I think he might have went ahead and got credit for leading lap number 2 this time by. Here goes Chris Gale. Have to be real careful there, as he did dip some tires below the double yellow lines there. We'll see how race control calls this. But he's not going to lead the outside lane here. Getting pushed by Winkelspect down the back straightaway. As here goes Kevin West in the 01 machine to the top side. Going to be 3 wide. West is unfortunately going to just have to watch these guys go by. Fall back in the line here. Might be able to get in front of Matt Cherry here in the outside lane. That's unfortunately just going to kill the outside lane here. Patterson's going to drop back here. He's going to look to get in line behind Matt Klusterhuis, and he will. Chris Gale's going to go ahead and come and lead lap number 3 of duel number 2. Looking at the outside lane there, it looks like Shiflett's going to get dropped behind this pack here. He's going to have to fall in line behind Sawyer Ott at 35. I want to say that looks reminiscent of maybe Matt Kenseth's 2004 paint scheme there. I think that's the scheme he's going to be running all season long there. As it looks like Jason Rodenbush, he's unfortunately lost his draft here back in 16th. He's going to really hope that these guys get, racing real hard here soon and have a chance back at this here. Ignore the double 25 you see on the screen there. Winkelspect's non-correct 05 paint scheme there. Brandon Klusterhuis is the correct number 25 you see on the screen here. Gale's still out front, and it looks to be single file until you get to see Storm Patterson here jump to the outside lane here. See if he can make something work here. Fortunately, it's not going to really work. Sawyer also jumps to the outside lane here, but thinks better of it. Goes back to the bottom. It's Shiflett, Cherry, and Patterson top 3 here, and that's just not really going to work out right now, as they don't really have the numbers up there. As here goes Sam Green. He wasn't clear, though. Risky move to do. He's going to be put into the middle here. He's going to go into the sucker hole, and he's just going to drop back until he gets picked up by Nathan Shiflett here. And it's just not really going to work out here. Again, so we talked about in duel number 1, you don't really want to be side by side with anybody. That causes side drafting. You just potentially can lose time to guys who are single filed out here. So at some point, you're going to see potentially West, Patterson, Cherry, and those guys could potentially start losing these cars in front of them, but they're making it work so far. Kind of very surprised here. And so it looks like Green was able to get in the bottom line. But again, you don't want to be side by side for an extended period of time, especially side drafting when that's how you lose the draft. As Patterson's actually really getting the outside lane to work here, as Cherry's giving him a great push through 3 and 4. He's going to be almost side by side with Klusterhuis here. That's Brandon Klusterhuis coming to the start finish line, but going to have to sell for 4th at the line that time by, as Chris Gale still out front. 6 laps completed, 34 to go. Sawyer that's in a pretty, again, I don't think it's a favorable position here, being 1 car on the outside lane here. He's doing 185 while Kevin West, the last car in the pack, was doing 190. It's really not a good thing being solo car outside lane, because that's how you're going to potentially lose the draft. We saw it numerous times in duel number 1. Here comes Kevin West with the help from Sawyer, seeing if they can make something happen here in the back half of the pack. Go back out front here as Storm Patterson is going to start losing some spots here, as that momentum they were able to build up is just going to start to just disappear as 7 laps are completed. Still side by side. Get more cars in this duel, making things a little bit easier for him to go side by side. As against 15 cars in the main pack, and Jason Roundbush by himself back here. Just a Tuesday afternoon drive, Tuesday evening drive. Might be in a position he wants to be in, because again, they're looking pretty racy up here. Just one wrong move could lead to some sort of a wonderful netcode situation. Something iRacing says they have addressed working on, but I haven't seen it, as I think that might be the end of the outside lane here. Storm's going to start dropping back. Oh, kind of recuperated there. They kind of got things back going again. As Cherry's going to be able to get to the back bumper here in that 45 machine, seeing if he can give a decent shove to Patterson on the outside lane here. See if he can potentially challenge coming down the back straightaway, going into 3 with Gale, but it's not really going to work out when you have guys in your lane jumping out of the line here. Sam Green goes to the middle here. He's going to be 3 wide between Shiflet, now West, and Klusterhuis. Again, that's just going to kill the momentum in the outside lane. Hopping in and out of lines is what kills the outside lane. As 9 laps complete, 31 laps to go. Still Christopher Gale out front, being pushed by Winkelspeck and Brandon Klusterhoofs. Outside lane still there. They truly haven't disappeared yet. But every time they work a little bit forward, it seems like their momentum's just gone because someone hops out of line. And you can see here the numbers are just to the inside line here. Still side by side. First 3 cars are single filed. Carbonell is running pretty decent here. He's been able to maintain the pack. Last car on the inside line here so far. Last driver in points paying position will right now be Kevin West in that 01 machine. Getting top 10 earned points. Gale's still getting a good push here from Winkelspecht. As Patterson and Cherry are going to see if they can really work the outside lane here. And things are just starting to get a little bit of discombobulated there up top. And that, I mean, they're getting discombobulated. They're getting all 6s and 7s up there, but they're still been able to maintain around that 4th and 5th place car on the inside line. So clearly something's working. I don't know if it's between Cherry and Patterson up top there to keep them up by Hash, up by Coley in that 4th and 5th range. Everything else behind them, to me, just doesn't seem like it's currently working out, and that should be leading to them losing momentum. But somehow, again, it just seems like Cherry is just an excellent pusher right now here for Patterson, keeping him well maintained in that spot. 12 laps are completed. Again, they pitted around at the end of lap 22, coming to 23 in Duel 1. I'll expect the same range here in Duel number 2 as the sun is truly starting to set. Again, in server time, it is 7:38 here on April 1st, 2025. Things are starting to get a little bit spaced out here. A little bit of a cushion here between 2nd and 3rd, and a little bit of cushion between 3rd and 4th. That really could give an opportunity here for Patterson, Cherry, Shiflet to see if they can inch a little bit closer here to these top 2 cars on the inside line. Again, all 15 cars that are in the main pack are still here. The only car that's not in this main pack is Jason Rodenbush. He's currently running through 3 right now, entering turn 4. So he's potentially could lose a little lap here in the next, if I had to ballpark it, 34 seconds. They're running 47, so he's about 13 seconds from being lapped. So it could be anywhere from the next 4 to 5 laps. You could see him go a lap down, but it could also be a scary situation as these two are this pack here is running 2 lines here. It's actually keeping enough distance here from the inside line, enough for him to go the bottom line. I think. But again, saying what I said a little bit earlier here, it looked like things did get a little bit separate here in the bottom lane, giving opportunity for the outside line to attempt to gain. But things are starting to get a little bit rough up here, as it looks like cars are starting to push cars they shouldn't be pushing. Looked like Shifted got in the back of Cherry there, but they were able to maintain it there. And it looks like Winkelspect is really pushing Gale out front here. Really didn't work for him early on when Patterson was giving him a push. But things are going to maintain. Doesn't look Brandon or Kevin are going to attempt to go to the outside lane here to see if they can potentially leapfrog him here before pit stops, as we got 25 laps to go. Side by side from 4th on back. That's been really about the highest that outside lane can get is the Kevin Hash in 4th. We've really haven't seen them be able to get past that point quite yet. Well, as I say that, they get by Brain Klusterhoos on the outside lane here. But I think that's gonna... Yeah, they're able to get some momentum through the corner, but it's really not enough momentum. As actually Storm's going to be able to clear Klusterhoos this time. That's going to give Cherry an opportunity to cool off that motor, because he seemed like he was pushing for quite a bit there. But fortunately, that might kill a little bit of the momentum they had there, as Patterson's now staying 3rd place here in front of Brandon Klusterhoos. The whole hole opened up for him with 24 laps to go. Gonna expect pit stops within the next 7 laps, so around 17 laps to go. We should see these guys coming down pit road here. Only thing that's really changed since we've been watching this so far is Patterson getting back up to P3. Sir Ott has moved up some spots here. He started back in 17th. He's currently running 12th, a couple spots outside the points. Rusi does seem to be a big loser right now. He's currently sitting 14th after starting 6th. Matt Klusterhoos is running where he started here. Matt Cherry is a pretty big gainer here so far. He's gained 5 spots. Currently running 5th, side by side with Brandon Klusterhoos for 4th, as they're getting ready to catch the soon-to-be lap down car of Jason Rodenbush here in turn 3. As Cherry is able to get down in front of Patterson. I think these guys are working together. I think they got this figured out, right? They know that green flag pit stops are coming up. So these guys, they're working together. I'm gonna there's some sort of maybe alliance here. As Shiflet's gonna be able to get side by side here as we're talking about this here with race leader Chris Gale. Side by side for the lead going into 1. Might be using the lap car of Rodenbush as a little bit of a draft help here. You're going to be 3 wide for a little bit. Shiflet's going to be able to clear Gale for a tiny bit. He's going to go down the bottom groove. Leaves Kevin West, Sam Green, Sawyer Ott, Luke Carbonneau, Millet, Rusi in the top lane here. As West is also able to clear down. Kevin West dropped back a little bit early on. Now he's to the race lead. Give an opportunity for Sam Green here to see if he can get clear and get down. It's cleared for the moment. Does he take the inside line? Yes, he will. We've had numerous lead changes here in the last couple of laps. Brandon Klusterhoos jumps to the outside lane here to see if he can recuperate some of the spots he lost. So Ott has a little bit of advantage here going into turn 1 and 2. Again, more of an opportunity here with more cars in the field to create the racing we're seeing so far. Side by side, most of the race we've seen Patterson jumps back to the outside lane, has Matt Klusterhoos there with him. Fortunately, he's going to be the last car in the outside lane. He probably has to get to the bottom groove here shortly, otherwise he might lose the draft. Things start to check up here in the inside line. Sir Ott did drop down, leaves Luke Carbonneau to lead the outside lane here, with Millet pushing him. 20 laps ago, 20 in the books. Again, green flag pit stop should be coming up here shortly. Carbonell is your race leader here. Zach Millett, Sawyer Ott, Sam Green, Brian Rusi, your top 5. Ooh, things get a little bit of a moment here in the inside lane here. It looks like Matt Kluser, who's got a little bit, I think maybe got a push gone wrong there, but he was able to control the car and get back in line here. As things start to look to single file out here, 2 cars in the outside lane. That's Rusi and Rodenbush. Rodenbush, unfortunately, is a lap down. Might be getting ready here for some pit stops coming up here in the next couple laps. Winkle, Specht, and Gale, 2 guys who were up front most of the first part of this run here, sitting 11th and 12th. Same thing with Kevin Hash and Josh Coley. Those guys were up front early on. They're sitting back half of this pack. Again, this was about the range where these guys came down the first time. I expect 2 tires stop, full tank of gas, no windshield tear off when they do come down pit road. Again, the whole entire field, all 16 cars in this race are single file nose to tail, first to 16th. Fortunately, 16th is 1 lap behind. Did we see any takers this time? We do not, so we'll go a lap further than we did last time. 22 completed, 18 to go. Again, single file it out. Roundbush sends in the top lane here. He's going to go ahead and just fall behind Cherry. See if he can potentially give some help to him. As Luke Carbonell continues to lead. Now, this is also where it gets a little bit sketchy here further on in the pack you go. You think Super Speedway Racing is all about just keeping it wide open, keeping the gas that pedal down to the floor. It's not. You know, you have to play with the throttle, you have to modulate it and whatnot. And this is where it starts to get a little bit sketchy here. As here comes these cars down pit road, and looks like majority of the field, 0333 drives right by. Sam Green might be close for him on pit road. Everyone's on pit road here. Sorry, that's going to get away. Some cars potentially getting to their pit box. Kevin Hash and Josh Coley are the only 2 cars who stayed on the racetrack that time. It was Luke Carbonell who was the race leader coming into pit road. We'll see who will be the first car off. Carbonell saying about 9.1. Millett will look to get out ahead of him with an 8.3 second pit stop. 8.2 for Brandon Klusterhoos, 8.3 for Winkle Specht, 11 seconds in the box for West, 7.4 for Matthew Klusterhoos. That can be a little bit rough. Sam Green says he spent no time in his pit box. I don't believe it. Shiflett spent 9.495 for Rusi in his pit box. As here comes Kevin Hash and Josh Coley. Field's coming through 3 and 4 right now. We'll see here 7, 8.2, 8.3 for those 2. So we'll see where they will file out here on the racetrack. They were able to go a lap longer, so they might be able to take a little bit less, maybe a smidge less fuel than the majority of the field here, going that extra lap longer. But things do start to spread out here. And unfortunately, it's a little bit too much of a gap, I would think, for Hash and Coley here as things start to come back together here. Ott leads the line here on the outside lane with help from his teammate Brandon Klusterhoos. Also has help from Winkle Specht, Millett, and Patterson in the top lane here, as Carbonell is going to be kind of the guy stuck in the middle there, 3 wide. So those 4 were able to get clear. Patterson unfortunately did not get clear here, so he might have to find a hole here. Might be able to get right in front of Carbonell, but that could be a terrible thing to do here, especially with those 4 cars able to single file out. Cherry and West, those 2 did work well together early on, able to get to the race lead there for a brief second, as Patterson's going to jump down in front of his teammate here in Carbonell. As we have 15 laps to go. So it's not as bad as a gap as we saw earlier on here. The gap that's really kind of concerning here for some of these guys would be the gap back here for Gale, Klusterhuis, Green, and Shiflett. Shiflett unfortunately lost the draft. Same thing with Brian Rusey here. Looks like Green didn't spend any time in his pit box, but I'm willing to bet he spent at least 10 seconds at most in his pit box there. 14 to go. It started right out front with Brian Klusterhuis, Winkle, Schmidt, Millet. But here comes Storm Patterson and company. They were able to catch right back up. They were able to get right back into the draft here. It was 4-car V versus 4-car battle situation here. But what goes on between these two groups here as they remerge together? How long do they choose to stay single file and potentially just drive away from Hash and Cully? Coming to 13 laps ago, things are kind of looking the way we entered green flag pit stops here, single file. Unfortunately, less cars in the pack. Fortunately, Jason Raudenbush, he did not lose the draft this time. He was able to fall into a group here. Unfortunately, this group is about 8.3 seconds off the main pack. And unfortunately for Kevin Hash and Josh Cully, they need these guys up front racing, potentially get themselves back into this here. Carmelo did drip a couple tires there below the double yellow lines here. No harm, no foul there. Didn't advance any positions or whatnot, but should be fine there. Currently saying P6 on the scoreboard. Yeah, this is duel number 2 for the upcoming Daytona 250 presented by Lucky Dogs. Lucky Dog Daycare, I believe, is the full name for them. Again, this is setting the outside lane for next week's Daytona 250. Michael Speck currently singing P3. He'll go ahead and have P2 locked down in the starting lineup next week, so everything will be starting behind him right now. Sort Ott would be currently in position to start P4 if the race were to end right about now. As things start to get a little bit out of hand here, I don't know if Millet got pushed or what, but he looked a little bit loose there in that Team Conti Sim Performance number 31 machine. Again, it's 8-car main pack here up front. And it's about 3, almost 4 seconds back to the next 2 cars and about another 8 back to the next 4 cars. 29 completed, 11 laps to go. This pack will probably get to the 50 machine of Rusey and potentially the 4 machine of Shiflett in this run here to the end of the race. But so far, so good. Good racing we've seen so far tonight. Pretty clean racing we've seen all across the board here through 69 laps of racing. Coming to 10 laps to go. Again, top 10 also pays points. Right now, the last driver in the points paying position is Josh Cully. They have 4.2 second advantage to Christopher Gale back in P11. But these guys do have 2 more cars in this pack here, but it also doesn't look like they're drafting real well together. So these two might be able to maintain that P9-10 spot here. The way those two are looking. I mean, they were running 47.1 to compare to a 40. Sorry, wrong driver. 47.9. I guess they were about 0.6 of a second quicker here. So that will be an interesting battle to watch here over the next 9 laps. Again, it's just single file racing. We've seen all out the duel so far tonight. This duel had some very exciting side-by-side racing early on. But I think we've reached to the point where we're just going to ride it out until we get to about maybe a lap and a half to go. Maybe just even a half lap to go. Because we did hear from Wiles in duel number 1. He felt like he went just a little bit too early there. Again, 5.8. Your gap is shrinking. They are running about 0.4 of a second quicker than Hash and Cully. The question is, is it enough? 0.4 of a second to make up 3. We'll take a look at the line this time by Hash and Coley ran a 47.8 compared to Gale's. Yeah, 4.10 is about the time they're making up here. So over 8 laps, it would be close. It would be real close to see if those 4 cars can overtake those 2. Becerra is catching the 50 machine of Brian Rusi here. He'll be the next car to go 1 lap down. I don't really think he could be in much danger of losing out on P14. A shift that looks like he might have potentially called it a day today, as I don't see his car on any sort of my track map here, and his name is no longer singing a bright white color, he's singing a gray color, so he might call it a night. So unfortunately, he will be starting back in the 16th roll for the 250 next week. As we're seeing, I think he might be able to hang on long enough not to lose a spot to Rowdenbush back in 15th place. But looking at the battle currently, that could be a brewing here between 9th, 10th, 11th, 12th, 13th. The other guys who are on the lead lap. Gap is down to 2.5 seconds. These two ran a 48.0 to a 47.6. So again, it's about 0.4 of a second a lap. With 7 laps to go, it's going to be really, really close if these 4 can overtake Hash and Coley. But now again, with 6 laps to go, it's going to be really the question here. Again, can those 2 overtake for the last 2 points paying... Sorry, can those 4 overtake for the last 2 points paying positions in the second duel? And when does the move happen here up front? So I know for a fact that these 8 drivers aren't going to sit in line. There's some good drivers who know what they're doing and are willing to take the chances to advance their positions here with 6 laps to go. Kluserhuis, I mean, what we see on Winkelspect, he can do it. We can see it on Millet, Patterson, Carbonneau, Cherry, West. All 8 of these drivers in this main pack, they have, I don't know, how do I put this? Essentially, they have the balls to go ahead and go out here and just start making the passes they need to make here. But the question is, when can they do it? When will they do it? I also got to take a look here. Teammates first 2 spots. Teammates back in 5th and 6th. Another teammate back in 7th here. Klusterhuis and Otter teammates. As the gap's 2.1 between these two. And again, they're catching the questions. How quick can they do it? Patterson, Carbonneau are teammates. And then Cherry's teammates with Ott and Klusterhuis coming to 4 to go. And again, it also looked like Cherry is a great pusher. So if you were Patterson or Carbonneau, would you hop out into the outside lane here when Cherry and West decide to both go? Also, another thing we need to mention, West and Miller are teammates. So there's a lot of teammate action here in this first pack. Again, it's 1.3 the difference between 10th and 11th. They're really starting to catch. They're going to really start to catch here as they were able to get the draft here. They're going about 8 miles per hour faster than Hash and Coley, that second group. Sorry, the third group. It's actually going to become part of the second group here. As you can see here, also looks like Rusi's able to hop on with that second group here. Back out front, nothing's really happened here with 3 laps to go. Could they potentially wait till the last lap to make something happen here? Here goes Patterson. He's going to actually be the first car to hop in the outside lane here. And he's going to have all 4 cars behind him go with him. So it's now 4 cars versus 4 cars here for race lead. West thought better, but he goes back to the inside line. Same thing with Millet. He's going to drop back to his teammate West here. So these two are going to link up, see what they can do here. Carbonneau, Cherry are really giving a 3-car tandem here. Can be a very, very risky move to make here with 2 laps to go. You truly don't want to push the pusher, as this is going to not work out well for Patterson. He's going to lose a couple spots. But here comes West and Millet to the outside lane. This is going to slow down those 3 cars in front of him. As caution's out. And it looks like Ryan Rusi was involved in something. He has a meatball flag here, so we're actually go to overtime. That explains why things were slowing down. We'll go ahead and replay this real quick for you. Oh. Alright, we'll go back another 15 seconds here to see how this unfolded. So yeah, these guys caught him. I don't know if Rusi just went down in front of him, but that's just a push gone bad in the corner. And that destroyed that race car. You do not want to see that. But it just looks like I said again, those 4 cars that were working together were able to catch Hash and company here. And when they caught him, Rusi was also on the tail end of that pack. I mean, I guess Rusi was just maintaining his line and whatnot. I think Hash and Cully went high, and that's what just caused them to, I guess, separate from each other and just unfortunately send Rusi into the wall. But we do have 3 laps to go. And this is going to set up a green, white, checkered finish. I'm going to see real quick how many attempts at green, white, checkered we have tonight. Does not say here. I'm going to guess potentially at most 2. 2 is the normal limit we have for green, white, checkers here in the league. You're going to see the iRacing in-race overlay real quick. We have... Does not say how many attempts at green, white, checkered we have. But I'm just going to make this safe assumption we have 2 attempts at green, white, checkered. We normally... Again, it's normally 2 attempts, so... We will see these guys line them up again, and we'll go racing. And all bets are off the out the door here. Like, we opened up the window here, and we just sent them out, and we're just like, adios, see ya. You know, we don't want to be ya. Numerous things can come into factor here. 3 attempts. We have 3 attempts at green, white, checkered. Thanks for the answer, Dylan. I'll see the longest 3 attempts. Fuel is going to become an issue here. I'm willing to bet when some of these guys came down pit road, they only put the bare minimum they needed via auto fuel. So fuel's going to potentially become an issue here. So we could see some guys run out. As you can see, some guys are currently trying to save here as well. And I mean, if I was someone back in the pack here, I would go ahead and take the risk of coming in and putting in a gallon or 2 of fuel. So we have 3 attempts here. So we have at most 12 more laps we could see of racing here. There's no way you can save 12 laps of fuel, especially at this 2.5 mile super speedway. Quick rundown of your running order here. It started out Brandon Kluserhus, Eric Winkelschbeck, Zach Millett, Kevin West, Storm Patterson, Luke Carbonell, Matt Cherry, Kevin Hash, Chris Gale, Josh Coley, Sam Green, Matt Klusterhoos, and Jason Runbush. Those are the 14 cars out on the racetrack. Runbush was your lucky dog on that caution. All 14 have an opportunity to come out and cross the start finish line as the race winner. But we should be seeing the lights go up on the iRacing.com pace car. It looks like the 35 machine is going to take the outside lane here. And it's 1 lap to go. Sorry, 1 green. And I think they might be trying to work on a teammate restart here. In front row, our teammates, so we could potentially see these two try to work something in to get Sawyer to the bottom lane. Yeah, it's going to be a really close situation here. As Matt Klusterhoos did come down pit road underneath this caution, so he could potentially be one of those only cars who are for sure safe on fuel to get to the end of this race. Again, way green-white checkers work in NASCAR and in iRacing. You get to come back to the line here. That'll be 2 laps to go. That's the green part of it. Come next time by, get the white flag. That is 1 lap to go. And then the checkered is, of course, you see the checkered flag. But if you see a caution between 2 to go and the white flag, as long as you don't take the white flag, you get another attempt. There is unfortunately no rule here in iRacing that says, hey, caution ends the race on the white flag. So we can see whatever the hell we want to see here on the white flag. Also with iRacing, the moment the white flag is displayed to the drivers, race is over. So we don't have any of that NASCAR BS where driver could be 2 feet from the line and the caution comes out. So we do have that going for us. Again, 3 attempts. Field is double fouled up here. All 14 cars that are on the racetrack are on the lead lap. So anything that does go wrong here in the next 2 laps could send you from starting P4, all the way starting back in P28. Green flag's back out. 2 laps to go. Sorry, gets a good launch. And like I said, he's going to work out the teammate restart here and is able to get clear of Brandon Klusterhuis. As it looks like Millet and Patterson are now going to work together in the outside lane here. As things look to be a little bit more stable here on the bottom lane. Carbonell gets a little bit of an upsetting push here from Hash. He's going to go in the outside lane here in front of Cherry. Kind of a late move in my honest opinion when we saw him move up there. He's now going to get a bumper full of Cherry here as things are not lined up in the outside lane here. So Ott goes up to protect the top as Klusterhuis gets spun. I think the green flag will stay in the air. They're through 3. They're going to wreck. They need a wreck now to bring out caution. Push to Winkelspeck. Patterson's now giving a push to Ott. If I'm willing to bet, we go take a look at the starter stand right about now. We'll see the white flag in hand. 1 lap to go. The race is now official. No caution will end it now. As the pushes are starting to get stronger and stronger. Winkelspeck's getting a push from Mill in the outside lane here. He's going to have a slight advantage going into 1 and 2. Things are starting to get closer here on the bottom lane. Patterson looks to be all over the back bumper of Sir Ott. As it's going to be a tandem v tandem here down the back straightaway. As Kevin Hash moves to the top line, Carbonell is going to sit there on the inside line. Looks like Chris Gill is just going to sit there and see what happens. Again, it's which tandem can push better. Patterson's on Ott while Millet's on Winkelspeck. They're coming through 4 off of turn 4. It's going to be a side-by-side finish. Winkelspeck's ahead. Miller looks to the inside, looks back to the outside, and Eric Winkelspeck, he'll go ahead and win the duel number 2 as there's a wreck behind him. Winkelspeck just going to start P2. And he's going to earn 10 points from this. And that was an exciting finish. And it's unfortunately for Brandon Klusterhuis. Yeah, he is in one of those drivers where we talked about could be starting. In his case, he'd be starting P6, and unfortunately, he's going to be starting back in 28th place. But again, it's Eric Winkelspeck, your race winner tonight. Capitalizing on an excellent qualifying session we saw a week ago from him. Started P1 and is going to finish there. And we'll go ahead and get to watch him burn it down in this Exalta number 25 machine. And we'll go ahead and pull him up into the booth here as long as he's in Discord. There he is, the 05 machine of Eric Winkelspeck. We'll pull him up into the Iron Thunder Racing Network booth. Make sure Discord's not muted on my OBS, and we're good to go. If he's there.
I'm here.
Heck yeah. Some excellent moves you pulled there on the last lap to pull out the win in duel number 2 tonight.
Yeah, thanks. I have Zach Milnet all thank for that. If he hadn't pushed me as hard as he did, I wouldn't have been able to get that. But he stayed loyal to my bumper too. So that was all thanks to him. But yeah, it's definitely nice to get that win.
Qualified P2, you automatically had that spot locked up, but why not go ahead and take some points from other drivers here? Earned yourself 10 points tonight. As long as I put on a pretty good race for him tonight. What'd you see out there?
Yeah, I also saw a lot of really good racing. Everyone was minding their P's and Q's. Everyone was being nice and organized with their pushes. No one was overly aggressive except for the last lap, of course. But I haven't seen what happened. I'll have to go back and look at it because apparently someone passed below the yellow line, caused a wreck. I don't know. But yeah, for the most part, that was really good racing. And hats off to everyone. Glad to be here.
What was I gonna ask? I had a question, but then I forget. Oh, I know what my question is. I'm saying your last name right. It's Winkelspecht, right?
Yeah, Winkelspect.
Winkelspecht. All right.
Yes.
All right. I've been asking that all night long, talking to these guys where it's questionable last names, you know. But you're currently now tied for the points lead. Sitting there atop the leaderboard with Barry and Pamitat. How's that make you feel?
Yeah, it feels really nice. Get that early points advantage. Can really help out when it comes to the crunch, when it comes to the end of the regular season. Definitely nice to have that in the back pocket.
I would agree with that. Before we go ahead and let you go here, is anyone like to give a quick shout out to, a quick thank you for?
Yeah, thanks to everyone who put this league on. I found this league last year after watching your radioactives. Thought they looked really cool. I figured, yeah, that looks like a good league to join. I'll do that. And now here we are. So yeah.
Well, you are here, Wing Duel number 2 tonight, starting P2 in the 250 next week, and look forward to watching you race next week and the rest of the season, man.
Oh, thank you very much. Looking forward to it.
So that was Duel 2 winner Eric Winkelspecht. We'll see if Zach Millet's still in Discord, which he is. So we'll go ahead and pull him up into the booth, as he was able to finish P2 tonight. Couldn't quite get there at the line, though. I don't know if it was just a little bit too late of a move there, or just really not much you could do.
Yeah, it's just that kind of race. And I wanted to make sure we got to the front and passed the cars on the inside there first. And, you know, I didn't have room to make, you know, the swing for first, but might as well make it exciting, right?
I mean, you did make it exciting tonight. You started P14 and worked your way up to the second place finish, guaranteeing yourself a spot in the second row for next week's race. Does that give you a bit of relief knowing that you get to start in the top 5 next week?
It doesn't. It doesn't. These kind of races, these super speedways. I mean, you start anywhere, you blink, you're in. You know, you could be in the complete opposite end of the track. So, I don't know. It's just a survival type of thing. If you can live to see the white flag, then you got a chance. But anything and everything up until then, it's just kind of up in the air.
I agree. It is truly up in the air. Especially, I mean, what we saw tonight here, where, you know, got that late race caution. You know, if we see that next week, it's truly up in the air because, I mean, that win next week locks you into a playoff spot. Compared to tonight, you just get 9 fantastic points that helps you towards a playoff spot.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I'll take every point I can get for whatever. But yeah, if you can get that win, especially early in the season, it certainly take a lot of pressure off. And once we get past the super speedways here, we'll definitely be shooting for that.
I agree. That's always how I looked at it, you know. Always looked at the schedule and go, that's a good track. That's a good track. Just gotta get through Daytona first.
Yeah, we get past these crazy weeks here, and yeah, we'll send it, man. I'm looking forward. It's a great schedule. The guys did a great job on this in this league, so I'm really looking forward to it, man.
Well, have you bought in Portland yet?
Oh yeah, definitely love it. Absolutely love it.
Well, I'm looking forward to it. I still have to buy the track. I probably should do that before it gets too late.
Worth every penny.
I'll take your word for it. Real quick before we go ahead and let you go here, so anyone like to give a shout out to, a quick thank you for?
Yeah, I'd like to thank you, Alex, for the broadcast. The Iron Thunder Racing League, all the admins behind the scenes that make this possible. It's going to be really fun to run this season. My buddies over at America Racing got us into this, so I'm looking forward to it. We just finished up SWM and No Limits Racing, so it's perfect timing to jump over here and run with these guys. It looks like a lot of fun, a lot of clean racers, so it's going to be awesome. Shout out to Team Conti, Sim Performance, Extreme Graphics, Track Bar Media, Track Bar Motorsports, EMR Paintball, and that S4 guy on Twitch.
You have a lot more sponsors, I think, than everyone else I've interviewed tonight.
Yeah, I got most of them will yell at me if I forget, and I'm telling you, I'm not gonna lie. I've got a dry erase board with them all wrote out because I would forget them every damn time. I suck.
Hey, I don't blame you. I would, if I had a list of sponsors you had, I would just completely draw a blank when I got up there and be like, oh yeah. Well, congratulations on finishing P2 tonight. Look forward to watching you roll off from P4 next week.
Hell yeah, man! Can't wait.
As that was runner up tonight in duel number 2, Zach Millett. That leaves for interviews tonight will be the P3 finisher in tonight's Daytona duels. Sawyer Ott.
Hey,
Hey! You know, you looked like you had it there until that caution came out.
yeah, I think we did. We were in a good spot for sure. Played the pit strategy right, started dead last, and obviously it's really hard to pass in these cars. So worked the first half of the race to get up front. I think we pitted third and then came out like first pretty much.
Mhm.
So we're just riding with Brandon behind me and doing a good job. Everybody was pretty content, I guess, until about 2 to go, and then I don't know what happened with the caution, but somebody wrecked, and yeah, it just put us in a tough spot. Thought we did a good job on the restart, but I don't know if the 05 and the 31 are teammates or not, but they did a good job of separating, going to the top. I tried to block. Glad I didn't completely squeeze them in the wall, but had to do what I had to do. So and then I lost my help at that point. Brandon was doing really good with the push in, and then I got Storm. I was happy to see that Storm got with me, and I figured he would give me a shot, but just I don't know, wasn't enough. Just came to a drag race there from turn 4 to the start finish line, and good win by Eric. Good to see new guys come in and have success. So hopefully he can carry that on into the season, but just sucks. Thought we were going to put our number 35 DeWalt Toyota, JCOM Toyota in Victory Lane. That's new, switching over from Chevy all those years. But yeah, it was fast. We always do good or do well at these super speedways. And, Cherry coming home 6th, like he just really wasn't able to get up there and connect with us. And then, I don't know. It is what it is. I'm a little bitter, to be honest, but P3 will have a good starting spot, 6th place next week, and got a little bit of bonus points, so that's nice. So we'll take it. Just try to go win a points race now.
Hell yeah. I mean, you answered all the questions I was going to ask, so I guess there's still one more. Is there anyone like to give a shout out to, a quick thank you for?
Yeah, sorry, I didn't mean to answer all your pre-asked questions. But
Oh no, it's all good.
We've been doing this a while, but I feel like I haven't been interviewed in a minute. It's kind of been a dry spell, so it's good to get a podium at least. And I appreciate you, man. I want to give you a shout out, Alex, for broadcasting. You've been racing with us for all these years, and it means a lot to step out of the car and put this on for the league because we really need it. And you're doing a good job. Last week was awesome. I've watched you back like 3 times this week, so. Really enjoy that. I appreciate you. Appreciate Dylan, all the hard work he puts in behind the scenes of managing this league. It's really grown over the last 7 years. Season 10. It's crazy that we've gotten here. Multiple series, thousands of races. It's all come to this point. So I'm really proud of everybody. The members that have been here since day one. The ones that this is their first or second race. Appreciate everybody in between that's come and gone. So all the sponsors this year, obviously AMHS for everything they do, All Gas TV, Iron Thunder Racing Network, All Gas TV Pole Award, or the Rookie of the Year Award. Sorry, we got the Hall and Ass Pole Award. Shout out to all them, all the partners, all the members. And all the people, all the fans that watch us. I know we've got each driver's got a good little following, and we've got some new drivers in here with a decent amount of following. So all the social media presence is much appreciated. So yeah, I'm really happy with everything that's going on in the league, and looking forward to seeing what 2025 has for us.
So am I. And congratulations on your P3. I know you normally like to try to get out of here as quick as you can, so I won't keep you any longer.
Yeah, no, you're good, man. I with the family and all that, it does take away from the time, but I'm glad that I've got a reason to stick around and talk to get an interview. So it feels good to finish up there again. Like I said, it's been a while, but we'll just take the momentum into next week. Love Daytona, so we'll get after it. And thanks everybody, and we'll see y'all next week.
And congratulations on your P3 here tonight, and hopefully we get to do a couple more of these interviews this season.
Yeah, sounds good, buddy. I appreciate it. Y'all have a good night.
As that was third place finish tonight, Sayrat. Well, that leaves us for tonight is going over the finishing order here in duel number 2. Again, it was Eric Winkelspecht started on the pole, secured P2 last week, and he just went ahead and took the 10 points that also come with winning this race as well. He's your race winner tonight. Finishing second is Zach Millett. Sawyer was third. Storm Patterson came home fourth. Luke Carbonell comes home fifth. I was really glad to see Luke did well here tonight. He's really well in our road series. He came out for Rush last season, so great to see him succeed. I think might be what I've seen him do in his first next gen super speedway race. Matt Cherry comes from 6th, Kevin Hash comes from 7th, Sam Green comes from 8th, Matt Klusterhuis rebounds after pitting there, finishing 9th. Chris Gale comes home 10th. Those 10 did earn points. In 11th, nope, that's the wrong button again. In 11th, we'll see Josh Cully. In 12th, we'll see Jason Rautenbush. I was able to get a couple spots there after getting the lucky dog on that caution. 13th, we'll see Kevin West. 14th, we'll see Ryan Klusterhuis after his unfortunate incident there on, I think it might have been on 2 to go there. Brian Rusi was part of that light race caution. Shiflett fortunately lost a draft and disconnected. And then Dylan Hale again gets credit for the 17th place finish without turning lap. That's it. That's all of our preseason races done. Duels are done. All-Star race is done. All that leaves left is an actual race that locks you into the playoffs. We're done with all this preseason nonsense. We go actual racing next week with 100 laps from Daytona. We'll be right back here. At our normal start time, 7:55 p.m. Central Time, 8:55 on Eastern Seaboard is when the stream will go live. Race should be starting around 8 o'clock, maybe 8:02 there. 9:02 for those on the Eastern Seaboard. But yeah, fun, exciting season we have upcoming here. Just want to thank you all for tuning in tonight, and we'll see you guys next week.